Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei, because today we have some speculation on when MCC might return, because technically we have info, I guess. So we're just going to look at it and see what are the odds of it maybe returning soon. First, someone on the Reddit posted, "We're returning soon, maybe, who knows," as a quote from a short, this one. And I'll play it and I'll explain kind of what happens, because some of you may be unaware, so let me just play it real quick. 1 second.
Despite a short February 2025, a lot happened last month inside MC. PikaClicks announced that they finally hit their goal they made themselves over 5 years ago to finally give away over $1 million for event prize money. I'm very proud of both them and Moonwalk Labs. Although it's more MCC Island than an event itself, after a while of grinding, Etho finally topped the leaderboard for MCC Island fishing, and that's a lot of fish.
Speaking of MCC, we're returning soon. Maybe, who knows? With that in mind, we've opened up tester applications, and you can find the link in the description below.
To see off this section, Block Wars also took place again this month, seeing Yellow Thunders as...
Anyways, that's the section that mattered. It was Melissa, one of the Nox crew members, over here. Here you go. Hinting that there's a huge announcement, that their MCC is coming back soon, and maybe, and then also separately, there's a tweet from her saying that on the 16th, a huge announcement is coming. Now, this could mean anything, realistically speaking. It really could mean anything. However, coincidentally, it would be pretty convenient if this was regarding MCC, right? Mel would know when MCC comes back. Additionally, Mel already said we might be coming back soon, and there's an announcement on the 16th, a huge one even, and Mel is very much aware of what they're doing, obviously. If they make an announcement, or if they're making a post saying huge announcement, there's going to be people assuming it's MCC. So whether it's true or not, this could potentially hint to MCC being announced to come back at some point in April, most likely, and that announcement coming on the 16th. However, I would like to clarify and specify that this doesn't at all confirm that's the case, but it's speculation. So, let's look at the odds of this actually happening. Let's look at the stats, technically, I guess. Let's look at the posts from last time, and then the posts we have now, to kind of hint at whether this is a likely result or not. Also, sorry, Mel, by the way, for analyzing. I know you watched the Mogul Mel, so... not to throw your name in the dirt in case this is wrong. Of course, not Mel's fault, but just wanted to clarify. Anyways, what do we know right now? Scott's Major's not home. That's all we really know. He's currently in, I assume, the U.S. or in Sweden, or where I think he's in Sweden, together with some of the other people in this picture and more. I'm fairly sure, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're not in Sweden. I don't know. They're either in Sweden or not, because there was also a post from Hannah with a bunch of other people who are in Sweden, I think. Right? Right here. So, I don't know. They're not home, at least. Scott's not home. And that means that potentially he's not able to announce something to the players. But then again, potentially the players may already know. But then again, potentially the players wouldn't know yet. Who knows, really? For all we know, this event could be announced far enough ahead that the players wouldn't be made aware just yet. Or maybe they do, and I look like an idiot because I don't know. I'm not a player. So anyways, that's the info we know regarding Scott. He is not home right now, so he right now would be unable to announce something to the players, and he is the one who announces stuff to the players. But that doesn't mean that it's deconfirmed to happen, because this could have been, we don't know when the event's coming back. Maybe he's already announced something, etc., etc. Maybe he'll be home by the 16th, or maybe he'll be available to post something. So that's just one thing. Number two, last year, we're going to first look at last year before we look at this year. Last year, we had a string of events that took place leading up to the first news for MCC, roughly. First, Scar made a tweet saying, "I miss MCC, thank you, bye," on the 3rd of March. And MCC replied, of course. And from that, MCC made a post over here saying, "We miss you all, but we're still here working away to make Season 4 the best yet," which was posted the day after, on the 4th of March. So, that was 4th of March, right? The actual event was then announced on the 12th of April, over a month later, and then the actual event took place on the 4th of May, which coincidentally is 2 months after the initial tweets, this initial tweet, but I don't think that's relevant at all. Regardless, The event was announced 3 weeks before it actually happened. That's the main important thing that we need to look at, because hypothetically speaking, if this March 16th announcement is going to be taken seriously and going to be considered to be an actual, release for MCC, then we could be looking at a date that is in April, and not very late into April, probably like early or mid-April. However, let's first, before I get into that, look at the info we have regarding what MCC's posted so far. Ignoring MCC TCG, because I don't think this is relevant for the announcement of Season 5. We only have this. We're still going just on the break. Remember, you can find us on other social platforms too. This, to me, kind of feels like a filler tweet to kind of, make their name, throw their name out there, be like, hey guys, we're still around, while they're preparing for an announcement or something along those lines, which would make sense because this initial tweet was made on February 20th. Hypothetically speaking, if on the 16th we get news, that is pretty much a month in between tweets. It's actually 3 weeks technically, I think, or close to 3. No, it's 4 months. 4 weeks. Hold on, my bad. 4 weeks between posts, and in this instance, it was 5 weeks, I think, between posts. Right, so it's an extra week. I think this extra tweet was just because of Scar. I think they would have made it tweets regardless, right, before the actual announcement. So timeline-wise, this would make sense. For an event to be announced on the 16th would make sense. Then, when we look at the calendar, sorry for your eyes, I apologize. When we look at the calendar, if the event is announced on the 16th, it's not happening on the 22nd, it's not happening on the 29th. The earliest potential date would be the 5th. However, I think that's a little too early. I think most likely it would be on the 12th, assuming, again, that this actually is an MCC announcement. I think the 19th would be a bit late in terms of them already announcing stuff on the 16th. I think the 12th makes the most sense. So that's the date I'm currently looking at that is potentially likely for MCC to return. However, a potential wrench is being thrown into the theory. Hermitcraft charity announcement thing, Gamers Outreach Hermitcraft charity thing, is taking place on the weekend of April 12th. Maybe the Hermits could be playing MCC and doing their part of the events for charity. That would be a very good thing to do, would be a big moment, of course, right? That would make sense. However, I could also see that being the opposite case, where MCC may be aware of this and intentionally not come back or not announce an event on the 12th because there's already something major happening for the most important part of their roster, or at least the most prominent part of their roster, right? So, what does that mean? That either means that if this hypothetically deconfirms an April 12th MCC, that means that either MCC has to be on the 5th or the 19th, assuming that the March 16th announcement is real, or this isn't about MCC. Or it is. We don't know. Again, this is all speculation and theorizing. I'm just throwing out the information that we have, kind of trying to put it all together. And this is all the little bits that we can work with in terms of whether MCC is going to be announced to come back on the 16th or not. I have my fingers crossed that they will, because I expect them to come back sooner than they did last time. Obviously, an April 12th event return would be sooner than a March 4th, I think, or May 4th, sorry, return date. But again, maybe they'll be later, or maybe they'll be the same. We don't know. The other thing we know is that there is most likely an MCC on either the 31st of May or the 1st of June, at least one of those dates, for TwitchCon EU 2025 in Rotterdam. Hypothetically speaking, if this is confirmed, which as of this moment, it is not. We don't know if it's going to happen, but we can assume that it probably will because of the success that it's had in the previous few Twitch Rivals events so far, from both MCC's and Twitch Rivals' side. We would have to account for what potential MCC would come in between the 12th of April, assuming that is real, and then the, let's say, 31st, it doesn't really matter, 31st of May, just because it's the Saturdays, right? Well, I mean, in terms of timeline, trying to squeeze an MCC in between, they could pick an MCC for May 3rd or May 10th and probably be fine, in which I would assume May 10th is the most likely. We don't know what they're going to do because We can assume, hey, probably a kickoff event to start off Season 5, right? Just like last time. But what are they going to do in May? Maybe a scuffed. Maybe they start with scuffed and then, no, well, they probably wouldn't do a scuffed and then a kickoff. They probably would do a kickoff and then a scuffed. Or maybe they do a scuffed, no kickoff, and we'll see what happens. Who knows, right? Who knows? Anyways, that's all the info we have regarding a potential MCC return. I wanted to make this video just because it's fun to speculate, and if there is an actual announcement on the 16th, we at least have speculation going on before the actual announcement, kind of as a hype cycle. If if you've paid attention to the video game and movie and whatever industry, you'll know that a hype cycle is pretty important for an announcement to come, and I think this is a fun way to speculate about potentially what could happen this weekend. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. Let me know your thoughts, by the way. All right, goodbye.